Welcome, Pisces, to your Mars in Pisces 6-week forecast. On March the 2nd through to April the 9th, Mars, the planet of passion, desire, and action, arrives in your zodiac sign. Over the next 6 weeks, Mars gives you a lot of encouragement to initiate. I'm going to share with you, first of all, the event chart when he arrives. He does forge two other aspects which will need some care. I'm also going to take a look at the wider natal chart. But then the upcoming influences, particularly towards the end of March and into April, are really exciting. By the end of the video, I'll give you a clear picture of what you can expect in terms of relationships, energy, finance, and work. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now. So Mars arrives, and one of the things I want to tell you is that Mars moving through the 12th zodiac sign, as he has been for the past 6 weeks, is one of astrology's trickiest periods of time. And as late as last Friday, as Mars in your 12th house clashed with Uranus in your third, there may have been something you found to be rather triggering. It may have been a sense of injustice. It may have felt that someone was not being fair in their approach, but the frustration that that may have created could have been palpable. And that energy is still to the fore as you come into this new phase. What you can achieve over the next 6 weeks is to move your energy more into the here and now. Why Mars is tricky in the 12th house is he has a tendency to stir up sediment from old hurts, upsets, and disappointments. But in the first house, you're going to feel restored. You're going to feel much more physically energized. You're also going to feel sharper in your thinking and much more focused. But of course, your ruler is Neptune, and Neptune is watery, and therefore Mars, which is about moving forwards at pace, does meet some resistance. So things might not go quite at the speed of light, but they can gain traction all the same. But as Mars arrives, he is in a direct opposition with the moon in Virgo, preparing for the total lunar eclipse of March the 3rd. And it's absolutely exactly opposite. So something around a relationship matter, perhaps you'll need to keep a balance between your focus on what you want for yourself and your connections to others. That is going to be important. Mars in the first house can give us more of an Aries energy, so we can be very single-minded, very focused on what's in hand. Not a bad thing at all, but there may be someone close to you that wants you to still just retain that connection. But Uranus, the planet which caused that abrasive right angle last week, is still squaring up with Mars. So over the next few weeks, because of the way astrology works, this event chart will keep playing out. So you need to be conscious that if you attack things in a very direct way, your frustration can still mount more quickly than is usually the case with you. So the important thing is the third house is your thinking, but also your nervous system. That's Uranus, which I think could be over aroused at the moment. Mars in your own sign can create impatience because it wants the result now. And the moon in the seventh house asks you to remain diplomatic to other people. So there are three energies that are all very disparate. So just be conscious of them. In a more constructive way, Venus, the planet, which is very much to do with your appearance, I feel that over the last 3 weeks, you may have, in some ways, given yourself a bit of a makeover, and it may have been quite fun to do something different with your personal presentation. But Venus is in a very strong link with Uranus. If you're a creative, and Pisces people often are, you can have some very buzzy conversations because I feel Mars is going to give you more thrust, more impetus, and at times, you're going to just say it, even if you know it's going to upset that apple cart. But somehow or another, it's not going to come from such a deeply rooted, very sensitive place, almost a subconscious anger that's been working around you recently. It's going to be more focused, so you can be more precise in how you deliver that message. You do have Mercury, the planet of communication, still in a retrograde, so important to be conscious that your facts are really clear. And when it comes to resources, yep, Saturn's with you for the next 2 years full time. So if there are new ideas, Mars in the first house can be very much about starting things afresh, or it could be injecting ongoing strands with greater sense of urgency. Will you get immediate results? Maybe, maybe not. Saturn in the second house suggests that the results could be slower than you'd ideally like, but that's where perseverance comes in. Because you're a water sign immutable, your emotions are incredibly powerful. I feel that Mars on the whole can be such a great asset, but just know in the middle of March and in week 3, Mars meets the retreating Mercury, and there may be something that needs to be discussed or thought about Mercury. Mars brings that very urgent energy, but don't rush that conversation. Later on in March, as Mars moves forwards, he connects with your traditional ruler Jupiter, which goes direct on the 11th. Look out for that video. And they forge a hugely dynamic link. If there's someone you're attracted to, that trine could give you the confidence to make the first move. But it could be that you're going to just be much more dynamic in showcasing your unique talents. In early April, as much as Uranus was aggravating Mars at the start of this journey, it wants to be friends at the end of it. So your confidence about doing things on your own terms can be rewarded with your ideas then being applauded because they were forward thinking and you seized the moment in a very bright and sharp way. So the big picture for you, Pisces, Pluto, the planet of transformation, does remain in the very psychological area that can impact on your energy if you let it. I think on the whole, your physical vitality is going to be higher, but because of that right angle to Uranus, you could still feel a bit on edge. Um, don't dissipate that by getting caught up in things. It will be important to stay mindful of how close people feel. If you do become totally focused on what you want to do, which can be good, if you work for yourself and you're trying to get something moving, but you need to stay connected, whether it's to your customers or your partner or family. When it comes to money, I think whatever you initiate now may not give you immediate rewards, but it could do by the last week of March because of that link to Jupiter, which is, of course, the planet of fortune in the fifth house, which can be about speculation. So your confidence on something could be rewarded at the end of March. And in early April, again, your ability to do something a little different could make you very attractive romantically if someone's interested in you, or it could be that an idea that is left field can start to gain traction. So it's a very vibrant time for you, Pisces. To check out the deeper trends for March, please click on that video. If you've yet to visit my website, please join me at patrickarundel.com. We've got yesterday, today, tomorrow, uh, weekly, monthly, yearly love horoscopes. And also, if you'd like to understand what the next 6 months hold for you in terms of that lunar eclipse, please click on that video.